Hello everyone, I'm Hela Gasmi. I'm a PhD student. I'm working about water resilience in rural communities in Brazil and in central Tunisia. I'm very glad to be here today to present my research in this exciting webinar about water tunnel. It's all about collaboration and learning from each other, so please feel free to ask me questions or to share your thoughts in the chat. So let's get started. Today I'm presenting two case studies in central of Tunisia. It's two communities in Sidi Bouzid, Governorate, which is always known as the starting point of 2011 Arab Spring. These communities were very marginalized by the state for so long. However, the population was strongly activated in political life and so well in the manifestations for their right to access water for multiple uses, for drinking, cooking, for irrigation, watering cattle. So today, the relation between these communities and the state is still basically about providing financial and technical support to water supply systems. However, for the irrigation, it's still limited to reach people with private boreholes. These communities, some households are connected to water supply network and store water in cisterns for domestic uses, for vegetable gardens, irrigation, and for livestock watering. Most households have rainwater collection cisterns for only drinking and cooking. Others are not connected to the community network and have built two systems, one for rainwater harvesting and the other for storing water from tank trucks, which is purchased from private wells for the other uses like irrigation. And wealthy households also have private wells for irrigation, which can be used also for domestic uses if necessary. The water supply system here is originally designed for drinking water, but it is adapted by rural communities to ensure sustainable access to water for multiple uses, including irrigation and for livestock. So managing multiple sources for multiple uses through multiple purpose infrastructure is the rule in these communities, and the single purpose is still exceptions. So the population often redesigned the external systems for agriculture, livestock, and domestic water. And as we can see in this slide, there is multiple illicit connection to this water supply network designed for domestic uses, because after the Tunisian Revolution in 2011, the number of illegal connection of non-members of this community association increased, and the association became an unmanageable entity. So in South Rihana, 180 families are connected, while there are still 30 families not connected. And in the north part, 300 families are connected to the community network, while 300 more families are still waiting to join the network. This individual connection resulted in reduced water flow, pumping failures, and every time the water supply network was upgraded, new households would be included, particularly those that had already created their illicit connection on their own. However, the irrigation from private wells and boreholes is forbidden in Tunisia in this area, in Sidi Bouzid, because of the groundwater overdraft, but the number of these drills is constantly increasing. given that it is an individual alternative to survive in this context of drought since 2015, people are still want to have one wells for each families, but it's still illicit in this context. So because of all this connection in the head of the water network, all the closers families are using the domestic network for irrigation. So the most isolated houses in these communities still lack water for all the water uses. And this is an example to show how this family do survives in the part of the communities which is not provided of water supply network, and they use water tenure, which is based on 3 cisterns for all type of uses. And this year, the main cistern has been closed by its owner due to drought, and only the owner of the system is using it now for watering trees and cattle. So here is the question: water tenure via drought, how people can rely on this aid network between them to survive for irrigation, livestock watering, and for basic water domestic uses. So once again, thank you for being a part of this presentation, and I look forward to addressing your questions.